Imagine your body as a high-performance machine, designed to run smoothly on clean fuel. Now picture what happens when you flood that system with sugar, day after day. Your energy crashes. Your focus fades. Your cravings spiral out of control. It's like trying to drive through rush-hour traffic with a fuel tank full of syrup instead of gasoline. Everything slows down, clogs up, and eventually starts breaking down. Most people think sugar gives them energy, but the truth is far more complicated. And here's what most people don't realize: breaking free from sugar doesn't require superhuman willpower. It takes just 5 strategic steps. But before we get to those steps, you need to understand what's really happening inside your body right now. Here's what's really happening inside your body when you reach for that candy bar or soda. It may sound like sugar gives you energy, but in reality, it's more like a roller coaster ride that always ends in a crash. When sugar hits your bloodstream, your blood glucose spikes rapidly. Within minutes, you feel that familiar rush. Your brain lights up. You feel alert, focused, maybe even a little euphoric. But here's what most people don't realize. That spike triggers your pancreas to release insulin, and lots of it. Your body scrambles to bring those glucose levels back down. Then, after about 30 to 60 minutes, the crash arrives. Suddenly, you're tired, foggy, irritable. That 3 p.m. slump after your lunch bagel and soda. That's not just coincidence. It's your body paying the price for the glucose roller coaster. And what do most people do when that crash hits? They grab another candy bar from the vending machine, another energy drink, another quick fix. The cycle repeats, and your energy never stabilizes. Research from Harvard shows that these repeated blood glucose spikes and crashes don't just drain your energy in the moment. They train your body to crave more sugar, creating a vicious cycle that's incredibly hard to break. Your cells become less sensitive to insulin over time, meaning you need more and more sugar to get that same temporary boost. It's exhausting for your body and devastating for your long-term health. But here's the good news. Breaking this cycle is simpler than you think. It starts with step 1. Here's a fact most people don't know. Sugar hides under dozens of different names on food labels. In fact, there are over 60 different names for sugar that food manufacturers use: maltose, dextrose, corn syrup, rice syrup, cane juice, agave nectar. The list goes on. And here's the tricky part. These names are deliberately scattered throughout ingredient lists to make sugar seem less prominent. That seemingly healthy yogurt in your fridge, it might contain more sugar than a candy bar. Your favorite granola bar, packed with hidden sugars disguised as organic cane juice or brown rice syrup. Even that salad dressing you trust could be loaded with high fructose corn syrup. The FDA now requires manufacturers to list added sugars separately on nutrition labels, which makes your job a little easier. Look for the line that says added sugars right below total sugars. This tells you exactly how much sugar was added during processing, not naturally occurring sugars from ingredients like milk or fruit. But here's where you need to be a detective. Ingredients are listed by weight, from most to least. So if you see 3 or 4 different types of sugar scattered through the list, manufacturers are essentially hiding the true sugar content by splitting it into multiple forms. That Starbucks Frappuccino, check the label. Your favorite protein bar marketed as healthy, read the fine print. Even foods labeled as natural or organic can be sugar bombs in disguise. The American Heart Association warns that these hidden sugars are everywhere, and most Americans consume far more than they realize. Start checking labels today. Flip over every package. Once you know what to look for, you'll be shocked at how much sugar you've been consuming without even knowing it. Once you know what to avoid, step 2 is about what to embrace instead. Here's the good news. Quitting sugar doesn't mean giving up everything you enjoy. It's about making smart swaps that satisfy you without sending your blood sugar on that roller coaster ride. Instead of reaching for soda, try sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon or lime. You still get the fizz and flavor without the sugar crash. Craving something sweet? Swap that candy bar for a square or 2 of dark chocolate, 70% cacao or higher. It satisfies the craving with far less sugar and actually contains beneficial antioxidants. That sugary cereal you pour every morning, replace it with oatmeal topped with fresh berries and a handful of nuts. Your morning energy drink, switch to green tea or black coffee. You'll get the caffeine boost without the added sugars that drag you down later. Here's why these swaps work. Foods rich in protein and fiber help stabilize your blood sugar instead of spiking it. When you eat fiber from whole grains, vegetables, and fruits, It slows down how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream. Protein does the same thing, keeping you full longer and preventing those desperate cravings an hour after you eat. The World Health Organization recommends choosing whole food sources of carbohydrates over processed ones for exactly this reason. Your body handles them completely differently. Think of it this way. Processed sugar is like rocket fuel. It burns fast and crashes hard, but fiber and protein, they're like slow-burning logs that keep your energy stable for hours. You're not depriving yourself, you're upgrading your fuel. Smart swaps handle what goes in, but step 3 addresses what your body actually needs. Now here's where most people go wrong. They cut out sugar, but don't replace it with what their body actually needs. Think of protein and fiber as the brakes on your blood sugar roller coaster. Without them, you're still on that wild ride. When you eat protein, it slows down how quickly food moves through your digestive system. This keeps you fuller longer and prevents those desperate cravings an hour after eating. Fiber does something similar. It forms a kind of gel in your stomach that delays sugar absorption, keeping your blood glucose steady instead of spiking. Together, protein and fiber work like a team to keep you satisfied and your energy stable. Every meal should have both. A typical American breakfast might be a bagel with cream cheese, but swap that for scrambled eggs with vegetables and a handful of berries. You're getting protein from the eggs, fiber from the vegetables and berries. Your lunch, instead of just a sandwich, add grilled chicken breast, pile on the lettuce and tomatoes, and choose whole grain bread. Dinner could be half your plate filled with vegetables, a quarter with lean protein like chicken or beans, and a quarter with whole grains like brown rice or quinoa. This is what nutritionists call the plate method, and it works because it automatically balances what your body needs. Greek yogurt with nuts makes a perfect snack. Protein and fiber, every time. When you build meals this way, something shifts. You're not fighting cravings anymore. You're genuinely satisfied. Food is half the battle. The other half, what you drink. That's step 4. Here's something most people don't realize. That craving you think is for sugar. Sometimes it's just thirst in disguise. Your brain can confuse dehydration signals with hunger signals, sending you straight to the candy drawer when what you really need is a glass of water. When you're dehydrated, even mildly, your body struggles to release stored energy from your liver. You feel tired and sluggish, and your brain interprets that as needing quick fuel, sugar. But drinking enough water throughout the day helps your body access its own energy stores naturally, reducing those fake cravings. Think about it. How often do you go hours without drinking anything between meetings, during your commute, or while you're focused on work? Most Americans are chronically underhydrated without even knowing it. The solution is simple. Keep a water bottle at your desk. Drink a full glass before your morning coffee. Have another glass between meals. You've probably heard the advice about 8 glasses a day. That's a good baseline, but what matters more is consistency. Drink when you first wake up. Drink before you eat. And here's a trick that works surprisingly well. The next time you feel a sugar craving hit, drink a full glass of water first. Wait 10 minutes. If the craving disappears, it was thirst all along. If it's still there, then address it with one of your smart swaps. Hydration won't solve everything, but it's one of the easiest changes you can make starting right now. With food and hydration covered, there's one final piece most people overlook. Step 5. Here's the fascinating part. Sleep and sugar cravings are more connected than most people realize. When you don't get enough sleep, your body's hunger hormones go haywire. 2 hormones control your appetite. Ghrelin tells you when you're hungry. Leptin tells you when you're full. Think of them as the gas pedal and brake for your appetite. When you're sleep deprived, ghrelin spikes while leptin drops. Your gas pedal is stuck to the floor while your brakes fail. The result: intense cravings, especially for sugar, because your exhausted brain is desperately searching for quick energy. This is why after a late night working or binge watching Netflix until 2 a.m., you wake up craving donuts and sugary coffee. It's not a lack of willpower, it's biology. But here's where it gets worse. Eating sugar disrupts your sleep quality, creating a vicious cycle. Poor sleep leads to sugar cravings. Eating sugar leads to poorer sleep, and the cycle repeats. Breaking this cycle requires protecting your sleep like it's sacred. Set a consistent bedtime, even on weekends. Limit screen time an hour before bed. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. These aren't just nice suggestions for better rest. They're essential tools for controlling your sugar intake. American hustle culture glorifies burning the candle at both ends, but your body doesn't care about productivity metrics. It cares about recovery. When you prioritize sleep, your hormones balance, your cravings decrease, and your willpower strengthens. Sleep isn't just rest. It's one of your most powerful weapons against sugar addiction. These 5 steps form your blueprint. But here's what actually happens when you follow them. The first 72 hours are often the hardest. Many people experience headaches, irritability, and intense cravings as their body adjusts to functioning without its regular sugar hits. You might feel foggy during meetings, or reach for that candy bar out of pure habit. This is withdrawal, and it's completely normal. But while you may feel uncomfortable on the outside, inside your body is already celebrating. Your blood sugar levels start to stabilize. Your insulin sensitivity begins improving. The constant spikes and crashes that exhausted your system are starting to smooth out. By the end of the first work week, something shifts. The headaches fade. The desperate cravings become manageable. You start waking up without that groggy feeling that used to drag you down every morning. Your energy is steadier throughout the day. You don't need that 3 p.m. candy bar anymore because you're not crashing. After your first weekend without sugar, the changes become more noticeable. Your sleep quality improves. You're not tossing and turning as much. Your mood stabilizes. Those afternoon energy dips that made you irritable, they're disappearing. Your coworkers might even notice you're more focused and productive. Between weeks 2 and 4, your body enters a new rhythm. Your taste buds reset. Foods that never tasted sweet before, like berries or carrots, suddenly burst with natural sweetness. That craving for dessert after every meal, it's gone. You realize you're making it through entire days without even thinking about sugar. Your morning commute feels easier. Your workouts feel stronger. And it only gets better from here. This isn't magic. It's your body remembering how it's supposed to function when it's not constantly processing excess sugar. But the real question is it worth it? Let's look at the science. The World Health Organization has consistently recommended reducing sugar intake to improve overall health and prevent chronic diseases. Reducing sugar lowers your risk of conditions that are major concerns for Americans: heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. These aren't just statistics. They're the leading causes of preventable death in the United States. Researchers at Harvard have found that cutting back on added sugars significantly reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease. The American Heart Association emphasizes that excess sugar consumption is directly linked to increased inflammation, weight gain, and cardiovascular problems. The CDC tracks data showing clear connections between high-sugar diets and chronic disease development. When you reduce sugar, you're not just improving how you feel day to day. You're fundamentally changing your long-term health trajectory. Lower inflammation throughout your body, better blood sugar regulation that protects against diabetes, reduced strain on your heart and blood vessels, a healthier weight that's easier to maintain. This isn't a fad diet or a wellness trend that'll be forgotten next year. This is decades of research from the most respected health organizations in the world, all pointing to the same conclusion. Reducing sugar is one of the most powerful health decisions you can make. The science is clear. The steps are simple. Now it's about taking action. Look, you don't have to be perfect. Nobody is asking you to never eat sugar again for the rest of your life. This isn't about extreme restriction or deprivation. It's about progress over perfection. Start where you are. Pick 1 or 2 of these steps and commit to them for just a week. Read labels more carefully. Swap one sugary habit for something better. Drink more water. Get to bed 30 minutes earlier. Small changes compound into big results. It's like starting a fitness journey. The hardest part is day 1, but once you feel the difference, once you experience steady energy instead of crashes, once you sleep better and think clearer, the choice becomes obvious. Consistency beats perfection every single time. Your body will thank you. Your energy will thank you. Your future self will thank you. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who's been wanting to make a change. Sometimes we all need that gentle push to start taking care of ourselves. You've got this.